Hello, everybody. Welcome to the last general meeting for fall 2024. Today we'll be going over how to upload your games to itch.io as well as kind of what itch.io is as a platform. So here's the sign-in sheet for today's meeting. I'll leave it up for about another 30 seconds and I'll move on. All right, that should be no time. All right, so first up for our announcements is obviously the banquet. So the banquet is this Friday. Come by and see how the game pitches turned out. We'll also have food in the form of Costco pizza, various assorted snacks like chips, and then drinks as well. We'll also have like an activity or two planned, or just general things to do to hang out. The usual like card games and stuff, as well as Beyblades and a couple other things. So that will be, again, Friday, November 22nd, this Friday, in Building 2, Room 214, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. I don't expect it to go all the way into 7. We just have the room up until then. And for those who don't know, we're currently in Building 8. Building 3 is the white building attached to Building 8. And then past that, the first building is Building 2. I can include a little map on the day of the banquet just so that there's no confusion. Yeah, because we usually don't do things in that building, but it happened to work out this time.
You're in game dev, just look it up on your computer.
All right. The next thing I'd like to announce is that the club actually has a Steam page as well as a LinkedIn page. These are two things that we've kind of had sitting around, but we never really used too frequently. So we're going to try to increase the usage of these in various ways. So the first thing I'd like to mention is that the LinkedIn, of course, will host any of the guest speaker profiles we have. We'll have a number of considerably more guest speakers next semester. And this will be a place for you to be able to essentially see their profile as well as potentially interact with them if the opportunity comes up. In addition to that, we'll be promoting any worthwhile game dev related events or other things that we might think might benefit the club. So be sure to join that just so you can keep in touch in this way. It's a little more on the professional side, whereas the game dev club is usually a little casual, so that's the only difference, but it is going to be a good place for us to kind of handle these kinds of things. And then on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we have the Steam group, which is just a place for you guys to hang out and kind of interact with each other on Steam if you wish. It just has a lot of people in the club in it already, and I want to see if we can...
A lot of old guard.
Yeah, kind of bolstered up with new people, because I know we've started the Halo game nights, and there's a Steam group associated with that, but this one's going to be more so like the general one for the club. Anyone.
It's not even associated with that. We don't even use that one. We're trying to use it, but like...
Well, no, it's the one we
You haven't promoted it. It's all your fault. I didn't.
I didn't promote it because I didn't realize that it existed, and I found it, so...
Mark's been talking about it the whole semester.
Well, that's not my
And
problem.
before.
He didn't find it himself. We had the same resources to find it, so I found it first.
Good little
Anyway,
biscuit.
we have the Steam group and the LinkedIn, which are linked through these QR codes. Yeah, I think that's been enough time for people to look through that. All right, as usual, we have the merchandise. All of the merchandise, the new merchandise will be announced actually after the banquet, but they'll be starting to go for sale at the start of spring semester. We just had a lull in the DRs that took a while to kind of get the stuff organized. Here's the order form, which I'll link when I actually make the announcement. Obviously, we still have the VIP membership going. However, it's just the semesterly one now, just because there's no reason to buy a membership for this year when it's about to end. So if you were chose to be a semesterly member, that's the opportunity for you to renew your membership for the spring semester. All right, so now we're going to move on to uploading to itch.io. So for those who don't know, itch.io is essentially a platform that is free to use for uploading games and participating in game jams. It hosts a lot of other little things as well. It's actually a pretty nice community for like indie developers. However, the only way we typically interact with it as part of the club is for uploading our game pitches, as well as hosting like the Halloween game jam, for example. So they come with a lot of settings for uploading your games. You can make them paid games, you can make them free but ask to donate, or you can just make them completely free. We usually choose that last option for game pitches.
Paid?
Completely free. I would advise that you guys make your game pitches completely free just for the downloading
Last option.
part of thing. Well, I said them in the opposite order than I actually wrote them, so.
Fell
Wait,
off.
what the?
What?
Whoops, I don't know what happened there. My bad. So uploading to itch.io. So to actually upload something onto itch.io, all you have to do is go to itch.io, which is their webpage, and then you can go to this top right corner over here, and I'm logged in this screenshot, but you could actually, it'll just say log in or sign up. You're gonna want to log in just so that you can upload your game. So as you can see, itch.io hosts a variety of games made by random people. I don't know exactly what their standards are for moderation, but it's very clear that you can upload, I guess, whatever your heart desires within very unclear parameters. So
Don't upload that.
actually, I mean, if it fits.
If it fits.
I'll get into that later.
If it fits, Aiden.
No, I mean, not in that sense. I mean, you'll see what I mean coming up.
Bro.
Anyway, so once you create your profile, you're gonna want to go onto the creator dashboard. So the creator dashboard will host. If you've just created your profile, it'll just be blank. It'll say this create. You'll just see this create new project button. I happen to have a couple of projects on itch.io already, and you're gonna want to essentially create the project, which is gonna be in this case your game pitch. So here you're gonna fill out all the details for your game. This is what I was talking about. If it fits, itch.io does enforce a 1 gigabyte file size limit. I think this is a decrease from what it was last year, if I recall correctly. I think it used to be like 2 or 3 gigabytes. Maybe I'm crazy, but either way, you only have 1 gigabyte space to upload your game. We do have a workaround for this though, which I'll get into in a moment. So here you can see I'm using BlockToss as an example. You just put in a title, you can do a URL, you can customize it if you wish. Kind of a description, any kind of, they have a lot of settings, like you can really customize this way. It's basically like a whole storefront for your game.
The UI sucks though. You're gonna be lost a lot.
It's not that bad. It's fairly navigable. It just, the real hard part is the searching for some reason. Their searching algorithm's a little weird. Like, for example, it's hard to find, like, for example, the game pitch page, because I'm linking it to you guys directly. I'll send that in the post-meeting announcement. But anyway, here's what I'm talking about here on the bottom. You can make it $0 or donate, paid, or no payments required. You can fill out a bunch of details for your game, like any controls, whatnot. You can link files. It's just basically, you have a huge text box just for doing whatever you want. And then here, this is the uploads button for uploading the game. Again, it has a file size limit of 1 gigabyte. They say to contact them if you need more space. I have a feeling that's just a kind way of saying they're gonna ask you to pay money to essentially upload a larger file. So we do have a workaround for this, and I did utilize it for BlockToss. I did not upload any files. I actually just linked to anyone with the link can access Google Drive folder with the game zip in it.
They're hosting our page, but
So yeah, essentially it's just the page for BlockToss is just an advertisement for the game, which is linked elsewhere.
is this allowed in the itch.io terms and conditions?
I don't know, and that's not important. Anyway, so that's the way you can upload your game if it's larger than 1 gigabyte. I would not expect that, but if you're using a Unity or Godot game, it should be less than a gigabyte, unless you have like a lot of assets and you guys made these games really big. But almost all Unreal Engine games are going to be larger than this limit, so you'll have to link it. You have to link it in the same way. Like I said, it's very simple. Just share Google Drive with a zip, and promise people it's not a virus. Please don't actually upload a virus. That'd be kind of rude.
That'd be
But
really funny though.
anyway.
I'm not encouraging anything.
So in the last section, if you couldn't tell, these are sequentially like scrolling down the page. You can make genres, tags, links to other store pages, custom nouns for your game. I don't really understand the point of that. And then whether or not you want to allow your page to have host a community tab. I'll also explain community tabs more once I get into the actual itch page that we have for this year. But essentially, you can choose whether or not you want comments or discussions, or whether it just be a store page and no one can interact with it. Then there's the visibility and access section, which is the last section on the submission form page. Essentially, you can make it as a draft, so if you're still working on it and you don't want to publish it yet. You can make it as a restricted thing, so only certain people can see the page, or you can make it public to anyone on itch.io with a link, or navigating through the store can find it. Once you do that, you'll click the save button on your project, and it'll save it. Keep in mind, you can edit your project at any time, even after it's been submitted for a game pitch, just by technicality of how the page works. And here I have an example submission of the kind of information that we expect on a game pitch. So this is Popcorn Teeth from over the previous semester.
Peak, by the way.
Yeah, so here they uploaded a couple of screenshots of the game as well as a title, like an image title, 3 different downloads, a Windows, a Mac, and a Linux download. And then this is the only information we require you to fill out. You do not have everything else that we talked about are just optional things depending on how you want to structure your game. But we do want a list of all your team members at the front or at the top, and then the game engine you used on the bottom. Just whatever you used, just let us know. And then that is it. Yeah, so that's essentially what it's going to look like, and it's most meeting all the requirements, essentially. So here is the page we created. I actually included a link right here to submit the game. It looks, I will dress it up a little bit more later. They have very unusual image size requirements, so that requires a lot of editing images to make it fit. So I was hoping if that did happen that people would have told me earlier, but it's okay. So this is essentially the itch page that we're working with. I have a link right here so you can kind of see what it looks like. It actually worked good. Okay, so this is the itch page. As you can see, it's opened up as of this morning. So you can submit at any time up until the banquet. If you submit after the banquet, there's no guarantee that the most up-to-date version will be displayed in the list of submissions. So as I said earlier, it's very simple. All you have to do is click Join Jam, and then you submit your project, and you can go to your dashboard and upload a game, or if you already have a game, you can click Upload. I'm going to go back because we don't have a example product to upload live. However, there is the example submission already in the form of block toss. I also left the community page open if people wanted to discuss things. There's able to do screenshots and submission feed. So it's a very simple process. Like I said, it's only has a handful of steps. And that is all you need to do to upload your game to itch. If I recall correctly, that should be the end of the presentation. Yeah, so again, really quick blitz run. So itch is a platform that's free to use for uploading games and participating in game jams. itch.io provides a lot of settings for uploading your game, so you can have it free to download, ask for donations, or have it as a paid game. All you have to do to use it is to go on itch.io, their main store page, and create a profile. So once you go to itch.io, you'll be encountered with a page like this. The games on the front page that are featured kind of depend on, I don't know, just whatever's popular or whatever sorting option that they happen to have you on. You're going to go up here. I'm already logged in the screenshot, but you will see like a login/sign up button. You'll do that and create your profile. It'll basically just be basic information about you, an email to associate your account with, password, whatnot. You will have you'll go on your creator dashboard, which you can access by clicking your profile. You'll see a creator tab, and there'll be a dashboard button. You'll click on that, and you'll see a list of projects on your profile. If it's a brand new profile, obviously there'll be no projects. You'll hit the create project button. There happen to be projects on mine from past things. And you'll see a lot of creator statistics. Whether that matters to you or not is not terribly relevant to this, but once you do that, click that upload a project button, you'll be greeted with something like this, except obviously it'll be completely empty fields. You'll get to fill it out. So there's a lot of options that we kind of covered briefly that you're able to click on. There's a 1 gigabyte file size limit that I'll talk about in a moment. So, title, description, you can do all kinds of stuff, whether it's going to be free, paid, or donated. I would highly recommend, actually require that you do it as no payment for game pitch submission specifically. Whether you want to make it a paid game later on is up to you, but for the game pitch presentations, it needs to be viewable to everyone. So then here's where you upload the file. This is all like in a huge list. I just had to take multiple screenshots. So this is if you scroll down from this page, you'd end up here. Here you click you upload your file. There's a 1 gigabyte limit. They say you can contact them if you need more space. I do not know what that entails, so what I recommend is that if your game, for any reason, is greater than 1 gigabyte, is that you do what I did in Block Toss, which is you create a link to a shared Google Drive file that is a zip to your game in the description, so that people can reach the game and download it, but you do not have to mess around with any of the convoluted stuff that happens if your game is larger than a gigabyte. So this is the recommended path if you encounter such a problem. And obviously you can kind of fill out all of the rest of your description with whatever you want. You can select a genre, you can add tags, app store links, custom nouns, community tab, if you want there to be discussions enabled on your post or not, as well as visibility and access controls. So if you're if you want to just create the page and have it done, but like you're not ready to upload your game because you want to make some finishing touches, you can create your page as a draft, and then no one will be able to see it publicly. You'll just be able to edit it until you're ready to publish once you've made that last build of your game before the game pitch presentations on Friday. Then you can change it to access specified to public, and then it'll be free to actually submit. But you can just use the draft mode while you're working on the finishing touches. And then restricted is something in between. I don't really think it's necessary for the game pitches, but I guess it allows you to control, like specifically invite certain people to see your page. Maybe if you have like a Patreon or something, I don't know. This is an example submission, and it shows a submission meeting, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. It shows a submission including all of the minimum requirements for the game pitch. So they have 3 different downloads, Windows, a Mac, and Linux. It's not required, but it's nice if you do provide different builds of your game for different operating systems. Obviously, you can just choose one. But yeah, they have images above the game as well as a title image. And then this is the only required text for the description, is that you do need to list out every single one of your team members as well as the game engine you used. Everything else that we talked about is configurable settings that you may use if you want, but this is what's required, is that you have some kind of upload, and then obviously have the list of your team members as well as the game engine you used. And that's all you have to do. This is a shorter meeting just because it's more so about just uploading your game. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask, but I believe that is all we have for you for today. So thank you guys for coming, and I guess I'll see you guys at the banquet. Again, do not forget, sorry, it's Building 2, Room 214, so do not come to Building 8, Room 4, or anywhere else. This is where it is. I'll include a map in case people don't know where it is, but like I said, it's...
We'll announce it as well. There's no chance you could get lost.
Yeah.
But worst case scenario, DM me. I'll help you get there.
All right. So that sounds good. All right. Thank you, everybody.